Hey all, Brent here with your anime and manga news for the rather criminal week ending August 9th, 2009. We'll get to that in a little bit. First off, quick, if you're watching this on Monday, August 10th, head on over to the AnimeNetwork.com. All their videos, even their subscription ones, are now streaming for free just for today, August 10th. But today only, and if you subscribe today, August 10th, you'll get half off your first month subscription. So that would be cool if you want to go and get that. Yeah, all their videos are free today. For the rest of you looking towards the future, go to chartfag.wordpress.com for a nifty chart showing a bunch of next season's anime, including images, titles, short descriptions. So you can get a sneak peek at what's coming out in the fall of 2009. You got the sequels for Darker Than Black, Storm of Summer, White Album, Inuyasha, Stitch, and Queen's Blade. Plus a spin-off of Tuaru Mujutsu no Index. There's also a new Jungle Emperor Leo / Kimba the White Lion, and by new I mean a completely original story. Or at least a new origin story. Plus Romance of the Three Kingdoms, Yuri, and some fantasy action stories and ecchi comedies and everything else you'd expect. Oh, and all you Inuyasha fans, AnimeNews.biz reports that Animax has announced they're going to be broadcasting the new Inuyasha series this fall, apparently like simulcasting with the Japanese release. So we may actually get Inuyasha simultaneously on Animax. That would be cool. Speaking of new anime, if you haven't heard of Cencoroll, it's a 30-minute movie that basically looks a lot like The Girl Who Leapt Through Time, except it was made by one guy. It looks great. And no, the guy is not Makoto Shinkai. Good news, though, is if you're going to the New York Anime Festival, you can check it out there because it's going to be premiering at NYAF this year. So that'll be the U.S. premiere of that movie. Looks very cool. Also in movie news, if you want to learn more about Miyazaki's latest flick Ponyo, head on over to Yahoo Movies. They've got a 3.5-minute behind-the-scenes documentary about Ponyo there. I haven't watched it because I want to sort of save myself for the actual movie, but it includes interviews, the typical behind-the-scenes stuff. Also in movie news, remember our story from last week about the new Fate Stay Night movie? There's a little more info in the latest issue of New Type Japan about it. It'll be an anime film. It'll reunite the same cast and crew, and it'll animate the Unlimited Blade Works story arc from the original game. And it's scheduled to premiere in January, so pretty soon. Completely other news, Yu-Gi-Oh! Has set a Guinness Book World Record. It is the best-selling collectible card game of all time, with 22.6 billion cards in print and sold. So, yeah. Now getting to the criminal bit, Noriko Sakai, who's an actress and singer, probably best known to Otaku for singing the theme songs to Gunbuster and Video Girl I, she's kind of in trouble. Her husband was arrested last Monday for drug possession, and Noriko was nowhere to be found, but police did find traces of her saliva on a straw used to inhale said drugs at her place. She was eventually picked up 4 days later, although by that point she was drug-free, but I would hope so after 4 days. And the police are currently detaining and investigating, so I wonder what will happen. All we know from that. Meanwhile, from the Moon Chase blog, Italy's getting with the times and licensing new anime. They've licensed Sailor Moon. All of it. They're also getting Future GPX Cyber Formula and Mar and Saint Seiya. Good for them, I guess. Anyway, in format news, this is a weird one. Just when you thought HD DVD was dead, wasn't that like years ago? No, in China there's this popular format called CBHD for China Blue High Definition Disc, which doesn't have anything to do with Blu-ray. Apparently it sounds like gangbusters, and it's based on HD DVD, and it may just outpace Blu-ray sales worldwide within a year. For every Blu-ray player sold in China, they sell 3 of these CBHD players. And basically CBHD is low royalty, so it's cheaper to produce. So it's really popular in China, so that might sort of change things, and that might push that format out to other countries. We'll see how that goes. Thanks to AnimeNation.net for that one. 4Kids is in the news, but in kind of good and bad ways. The good news is they've released uncut versions of episodes 13 and 14 of Yu-Gi-Oh! On YouTube. These episodes were never released in America before, and they're in the original Japanese subtitle, or at least they weren't available legally. However, meanwhile, 4Kids is apparently looking for a buyer. They're looking to get sold out. They're apparently not really doing too hot. So they're hopefully going to get bought, which might mean bad things. But who knows? K-On! Is still doing well. The first Blu-ray volume of K-On! Is the number 2 best-selling Blu-ray in Japan right now, just behind EVA 1.0. But here's what's really interesting. The first DVD debuted at number 7 on the DVD charts, with the number 2 Blu-ray. So apparently the Japanese are really buying Blu-ray discs. So that's all the news for this week. Other little bits and pieces. There's this rather cool Lupin III music video out there, done by a group called Monkey Magic, a Canadian-American band, I believe. They had this original, basically original AMV made of them versus Lupin, which is pretty fun. You can check that out online. But that's about it for news for this week. And so until next week, expand your senses and try to communicate your feelings through this machine.